I like the way our guys play. They didn't shy away from any opportunities that they had. They took open shots when they took them.
Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Year, Kobe McEwen and the Aggie basketball team tipped off their season against the University of Providence last Friday. Welcome to ATV Sports, I'm Braden Clark. The Aggies scored 98 points in their opener, and nearly half of those points came from beyond the three-point line. New transfer Dwayne Brown pushes this one up to sophomore Sam Merrill, who drains it, kicking out to freshman Brock Miller, nailing this three. McEwen says he wants in on this action and takes this one from the corner and nails it. He wasn't done though. Kobe for three. Brown, with his only three of the game, takes this one in the corner. That's 5. Agent Zero, D'Angelo Isby, takes this one in the corner and puts it to bed. Miller led the Aggies with 3 3-pointers on the night. We aren't done yet though. Brito takes his turn from the top of the key. And then also Brito, in the giving mood, drives and dishes to Abel Porter, who nails it. Crew Ainge says, "Do you want some threes?" And Justin Bean says, "Yes. Yes, I do." And finally, Abel Porter splashes this one home, bringing us to 11 threes. McEwen led all scorers with 17 points in 19 minutes played. The Aggies win this one running away 98-54.
We'd like to get 25 to 30 up a night. 26 assists on 31 baskets is the kind of team I think we have.
The Aggies open the regular season at Weber State this Friday. The women's team played Saturday as Westminster traveled a few miles north to take on the Aggies. Deja Mason started this one for the Aggies as she forces her way for 2 points. Olivia West throws this one up high for Shannon Duffy, who gets an easy layup. The Aggies get a spark from Jessie Greer as she sits back and jumps the passing lane as she goes coast to coast. Eliza West beats her defender and gets this wide open layup. Rachel Brewster led the Aggies in scoring. She takes this three and nails it and drains this in the corner. She had 15 points on the night. The Aggies win this one easily, 72-55.
We're saying we got a lot of returning experience. We're still basically sophomores and a couple juniors and freshmen. So I felt as a coach there's a lot of nerves out there.
They will travel to UC Irvine on Friday to take on the Anteaters. Good luck, Aggies. So, Chaz, what's your favorite kind of dessert?
I like chocolate chip cookies the best.
Well, I don't know about you, but I love turnovers, and the New Mexico and Aggie football game had plenty of them. USU quarterback Jordan Love fakes this one and rolls right and whoop, right into the hands of Stanley Barnwell of New Mexico. Quarterback Lamar Jordan takes this one himself and runs it and drops it on the floor. Gives it right back to Utah State. Oh, but we're just getting started. Jordan rolls right, dishes to Romel Jordan, who finds a hole, runs right, and whoop! Ball back on the ground, and Aggies recover. What a day to be a Lobo. Richard McQuarrie runs and whoop! Is stripped by Justice T.I. They possibly can't fumble again. Owen says, "Hold my poodle," and drops this one to the earth. Now, don't get comfy, Aggie fans, because whoop! Right there, Jordan Love and Luan Hunt don't want any part of this handoff. New Mexico inserted quarterback to OT, and that didn't help because, whoop! The running back and quarterback get leveled right there, and David Woodward is there to pick it up. He's at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, and into the end zone. Okay, everyone get that out of the system. The game wasn't all bad, though. Luan Hunt will punch this one in for the Aggies. The first points of the game, actually. Hunt wouldn't carry the load for the Aggies as he breaks free here for 65 yards and finishes the night rushing for 117 yards and 2 touchdowns. Gives the Aggies the lead 14-3 at half. New Mexico would finally score a touchdown in the fourth quarter, though, when OT ran this one around the Aggie defense, splits a defender there, and dives in the end zone, but it wouldn't be enough. The Aggies improved their record to 5-5 with a 24-10 victory over the Lobos. Aggies inch closer to the 6-win mark, which makes them bowl eligible, but that's where things get a little confusing. You see, under this current bowl system, every conference is guaranteed a certain amount of bowls for each of their teams. In the Mountain West Conference, we are promised 5 bowl games: the Las Vegas Bowl, the Arizona Bowl, the New Mexico Bowl, the Idaho Potato Bowl, and the Hawaii Bowl. Currently, there are 5 teams with better records than USU: Boise State, Wyoming, Colorado State, Fresno State, and San Diego State. Each of these teams will claim the secure bowl games that the Mountain West has. So what does that mean for us? Right now, we're the outside looking in. The Aggies have to hope some other conferences fail to send teams to their secured bowl games. In that case, the Aggies have to be selected by the bowl committee, so it is quite possible to see Utah State playing in Alabama, Texas, or even New York when bowl season is upon us. The best thing the Aggies can do for themselves is to beat Hawaii next week and Air Force the week after. Even with 6 wins, there's still a chance to be skipped by the bowl committee and miss out on all the bowl festivities. Bronson, did you know we have a team here at USU who was ranked number 2 overall going into their national meet?
No, I didn't. That's pretty cool.
Well, I went out and got to know the team you might not have heard about, but definitely should.
Running. It's what they do. Practicing every day, the athletes on the track and field team says it's becoming one of the best programs in the entire country.
It's just a testament to what the coaches have going on here. It's a great program. Had a lot of success.
I don't know what you did over your spring break, but our men's DMR team placed 5th in the country in their national tournament held in Texas this last week, giving us 4 more All-Americans.
DMR, or Distance Medley Relay, went into the meet ranked 2nd in the country. Some say it was a perfect storm, having some of the best athletes in USU track and field history being on one team.
These guys that I was running with, we all just bought into the program from the beginning, and it's paid off. So it shows that really anybody can compete with the nation's best as long as you just work hard.
And for one of the most decorated Aggie athletes of all time, he picked up his 7th All-American honor this last weekend.
Feels good. I'm trying to see if I can get 9-time All-American that's held by Mr. Parker, I think. That's my goal, is to tie him. I feel like I can race faster when my team's depending on me, and when I'm running for the team, that's special to me.
The DMR team may be finished their season, but these athletes are far from finished as they begin their training for their upcoming individual meets.
According to the Cross Country Coaches Association, Utah State's men's track and field and cross country program ranked 13 in the nation in the Program of the Year standings. I have a lot of cardboard boxes sitting around my house. The last thing I thought I'd use it for is to build a boat and race it across water. It's really humid in here.
From Dragons, the Tridents, they're all competing to be the best, to prove they are the best cardboard boat racer in all of Cache Valley. These weren't just slapped together.
We spent probably about 4 or 5 hours working on this boat.
We did it on a Saturday. It took maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Bringing all these students together that quickly, there were bound to be a few standout designs.
Like that dragon one back there is insane. Red duct tape.
Get set, go!
As the races began, we saw a few take an early lead, but quickly saw themselves at the bottom of the pool. And some fantastic finishes. But in the final race, there was one clear victor. Team Get Wrecked said they had a design going in they knew would be tough to beat.
We decided to make a paddleboard boat because we knew that would be the fastest.
An experience these students say they're grateful to have this escape from everyday life.
We get to apply things that we learn in school to actual recreational things, and it's a blast just being able to come out here and compete with these kind of things.
Braden Clark, ATV News.
The Aggie volleyball team is off to its best 12-game start with an 8-4 record in 4 years. I went to show you what's making them so successful.
The Aggies only lose 3 starters from last year's team and return senior outside hitter and kills leader Lauren Anderson. With a preseason injury to junior setter Cassidy Johnson, head coach Grayson DeBose inserted redshirt freshman Jasa Funk into the starting lineup.
Cassie's been a really big help, giving me pointers, and my coaches have just, they've just been giving me lots of pointers as well, and so I've just been trying to, do what they've trained me to do, and, just work hard and to do my best.
Ever since her first start, Funk has increased her assists per set every game, excluding games against Arizona State and Southern Utah. Coach DeBose had this to say about the performance of his freshman setter.
I think it's a combination of things. One is we have a really experienced hitting group. Rachel, Kayla, Carly, Lauren Anderson, Lauren O'Brien. So we have some guys who have some experience, and so that's been a fortunate thing to be able to throw her into, because all those guys have played a lot.
As you can see behind me, the team is hard at practice as they prepare for San Diego State as they open up conference play this Thursday. Our environment that we've created here is one of the more unique ones I've seen in my years of coaching. We have this collaborative effort going on where, hey, here, I'm going to teach you something because you don't know and have the experience yet, and maybe that helps me. So it's this symbiotic relationship we've created where they're all kind of working together for a common goal and helping each other out. They're still very competitive in practice. They still get after it every day, but they also wrap their arms around each other and help each other out. It's pretty neat.
This is Gordon Hayward. Here's your Jazz Game Rewind.
How's it going, Jazz fans? I'm Braden Clark, and this is your Jazz Game Rewind. The Jazz dropped Game 3 to the Clippers, 111-106. This one may have left a sour taste in our mouths, but let's take a moment and realize the incredible basketball game we just witnessed. The Jazz saw a consistent lead all game long until the fourth quarter, where the Jazz electric offense dried up and were scoreless for 5 minutes, while the Clippers went on a 15-0 run to take the lead. Here's what Quinn Snyder had to say about his team's performance tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I hats off to them for making plays. We had a hard time getting a defensive rebound during that same stretch, and I thought they really capitalized, on an ability to kind of close a possession. And then, obviously, if you're making shots, you're able to overcome that. And as you said, there was that stretch where we struggled from the field and we missed a couple free throws.
Injury bug was relevant again tonight, and not just for the Jazz. Rudy Gobert sat out for the second straight game ever since going down to his knee injury in the opening play of Game 1. But Blake Griffin went down for the Clippers with an apparent foot injury in the second quarter. Gordon Hayward made Jazz history. G-Time scored 21 points in the first quarter, something that hasn't been done by any Jazz player in playoffs history. He really set the tone early for the Jazz. In fact, Gordon scored as many points as the Clippers in the first quarter.
Yeah, we got off to a great start tonight, something that we couldn't do the past couple times we played them. The energy was great. It was electric out there. And towards the end of the game, we couldn't get stops. I think that was the biggest problem for us. And I've talked about it before. We couldn't get stops, so allowed them to set their defense on us, and they really made it difficult for us when they're set. They're good, and so I think it really came down to the defensive end for us, which we'll try to figure that out.
Not only was this a historic night in Jazz history, but Gordon also set a career high in points tonight, scoring 40 points to lead the Jazz. He's obviously going to be the player of the game. Let's go back and relive the historic moment for Gordon. We are going to the first quarter. Let's take a listen to Hayward make Jazz history.
Luke and Bob Mute driving down the middle of the lane. Hayward defends it well. Loose ball. Heads toward the sideline. Saved by Bob Mute. Back out to Reddick. Right side jumper swirls out. And rebound comes to Hayward. In the home white uniforms with white sleeves. Blue, yellow, and green shoes. Hayward gives to Hill. Jazz, who've been working very late in the shot clock in this possession, gives to Hayward. Mid-range jumper. Right side is good.
That's what I'm talking about there, baby. He came off that screen, one dribble, and pulled up and shot the basketball. He didn't try to go 2 or 3 dribbles away.
Ingles guarding Chris Paul. Right side, Blake Griffin. Top, DeAndre Jordan. Hands to Paul. Trailing is Ingles. Flips it back out to Jordan outside his range at 15 feet. He shoves off George Hill. Hill steals the pass. Turnover. Here comes Hayward. Right down the middle of the lane. Attacking Blake Griffin. Contact, foul, offensive on Hayward. Blake Griffin is a real force on offensive rebounds off DeAndre Jordan's misses. That's one thing to keep an eye on. Back cut, Gordon Hayward at the rim. Slam dunk, Diaw with the assist. And Joe Ingles picking up Chris Paul full court.
Yeah, maybe they can tire him out, huh?
And a reach-in foul on Ingles, denying it 93 feet. Boy, that seems like a real ticky-tack call. Hayward's got a good look. Right side, one dribble to settle himself. Fires and hits. Gordon, Hayward, and George Hill have all 11 for the Jazz.
Make sure Gordon does not pick up that early third foul or something like that to finish out the quarter.
Jordan splits the free throws. He was 49% of the season. He was better pre-All-Star break. Ingles, guarded tightly by Reddick, comes off a Favors pick. Flares it to Hayward. He's open for three again. He got again! G-Time with 10 early points.
That's the same play, David.
14-13 Jazz. Chris Paul penetrates to the window, hands off to Jordan, lays it up. Hayward with 2 fouls has to let him go this time.
Okay, then Joe has to go over and get in front of and defend Jordan, but try your best to get in front of him.
Rodney Hood getting ready to check in at the 5:48 mark. Derek Favors the top. Jordan punching him in the chest.
There's a post
into
up.
The post to Hayward. Turnaround jumper over Chris Paul. Good. Gordon Hayward's in another time and another place right now. And he's got 12 to lead the Jazz in the first quarter. Hayward, left-hand dribble to the free throw line. Hangs in the air. Foul to get 2 free throws. Push ahead to Joe Johnson. Marked by Blake Griffin. Jazz been very good with Joe Johnson on the floor in this series. Shelvin Mack, right side of the floor. That's his sweet spot. He's got Blake Griffin guarding him. Chris Paul's in the post defending Joe Johnson. Double team comes. He passes out. Hayward, left side 3. Ow! Gordon Hayward with 16 first quarter points. 29-21 Utah. Minute to play in the quarter. Gordon Hayward at the top. He's got 16 points in his back pocket already. Hands to George Hill. Hill finds Hayward at the rim. Make it 18. 31-21 Utah.
That man's on a mission.
And Gordon Hayward will go to the free throw line for a chance to score 20 points in a quarter. Hayward has 20 points now in the quarter. Here's going for his 21st. What an incredible performance from G. 21 points in the first quarter tonight for Gordon Hayward.
Stat line of the game goes to the over 50% shooting for the team tonight, shooting 36 for 69.
Hayward directs people where he wants them. He comes to the right side. He attacks with a crossover left hand to the rack. Layup good. Plus a foul. Gordon Hayward's got 27 and the bucket. George Hill, another 3 and another. Now George Hill has had his Wheaties for breakfast. 10 in the quarter for Hill. Guarded tightly by DeAndre Jordan. They're going to go Boris Diaw on Chris Paul. They can't get it. Instead, they're telling George to go to work. He crosses over, kicks to Joe Johnson. Deep 3. Got it! Wow.
The Jazz will be back on Sunday at 7 p.m. here in Salt Lake City, Jazz fans. The crowd was electric tonight. Let's bring that same fire and energy Sunday night as we try to take back Game 4. Don't forget to catch up with David and Ron Boone, though, on their thoughts of tonight's game. Go over to weareutahjazz.com/lockedonjazz to hear their postcast and read up on David's Empty in the Noggin. Thanks, Jazz fans. Once again, I'm Braden Clark, and this has been your Jazz Game Rewind.